Welcome back, everybody, to the Renaissance Humanism podcast. In today's episode, I will be discussing why Western liberalism doesn't like the state of Israel. It's been over 80 years since World War II, and most European nations, at least regarding the governing elite, have been trying to make their countries less British, less French, less German, and trying to create a European identity. From my experience in the Western liberal democratic systems, they don't promote the love of country or the love of national identity. We're seeing individuals first and foremost as the most important. People must remember that nations like England and France are ancient, over 1,000 years old, with their unique traditions. Contemporary Western European nations ignore their history. Instead, they often export from America, the United States of America. Phrases like these countries are built by immigrants are nonsensical, don't make any sense for countries in the European context, because those nations are centuries old, and making arguments, pro-immigration arguments, doesn't make any sense. For the United States is a country founded by immigrants. Canada is founded by immigrants. Australia is founded by immigrants. So making that kind of argument makes sense, because those nations are very young as well. The United States started in 1183 when it finally won its independence from the British Empire. I understand the importance of integration, trying to make newcomers feel welcome and part of the national story and history. But making something up um, is counterproductive from my point of view. It don't make any sense. It's telling lies. It doesn't understand, particularly in the case of my own home country, England. England has a uncodified constitution, like the Roman Constitution. It's built on historical precedents and cultural norms that guide that society, and that's been that way for over 1,000 years. And it's these norms, it's the culture, it's the history. They need to be relearned each generation and told to the next generation. And that's not being done anymore. A nation only works if its people know its history and its identity. The state of Israel, such as what we have, the state of Israel that liberal nations have left. Israel is like it's a nationalist state. Israel support they protect the Jewish religion, they protect the Jewish borders, they protect the Jewish culture. But in the Anglosphere and in Western Europe over the past 80 years, they haven't been doing that. That's the problem. There's a class of culture between Western liberalism on the left and what Israel actually stands for, which is on the right, and it promotes the Jewish ethnic group, Jewish identity. It doesn't promote multiculturalism, and that's totally against morality, particularly in Western Europe and in the United States and English-speaking nations. That's why there's this clash. That's why the left within the United States and other nations are against Israel. Found a comment online by a lecturer and author Alexander Rutsel Bubla, Bubul. I'll leave the link in the description so you can actually click on my article and then click on the first section. So I'm going to read out his comment now, exactly how they've written it. Zionism can be read in terms of European intellectual history as nationalistic response to European anti-Semitism. Nationalists of the 19th century believe in a broad bond of people with a common ancestry, ancestral homeland and language. Hence the idea of an Italian state for ethnic Italians, a German state for ethnic Germans, a Hungarian state for ethnic Hungarians, etc. Anti-Semitism in the era was partly fueled by the belief that the Jews were immutable ethnic outsiders, not true Germans, French, or Polish, etc. The liberal solution was downplaying these ethnic and also religious differences in favour of universal humanity. A view could simply assimilate into a secular, non-religion and cosmopolitan, non-ethnic liberal state. Zionist solution was for the Jews to adapt their own nationalism, revive the ancient Hebrew language, and return to their ancestral Jewish homeland, Israel, which means to wrestle with God. I think this also partly explains the migration of pro-Islamic, pro-Israeli sentiment to the right. and Western nationalists like Donald Trump in the USA, uh, Orbán in Hungary, Maria Le Pen in France, Vox in Spain, etc., tend to be favourable towards Israel. Old nationalism was associated with anti-Semitism, and new nationalism with pro-Israelism. I think this comment's very interesting, it's very insightful. Again, I'll just reiterate the argument. He's saying that on the right of politics, they support the nation of Israel, and the left wing, they don't support the nation of Israel. They have two different connotations. The left sees nationalism as rejecting modernity and rejecting multiculturalism. The right sees nationalism as protecting its borders, protecting the interests of its national interests. So you've got these two different ideologies, two different ways of seeing the world. They're just not compatible. And that's why the left elements just don't like Israel just because it goes against the historical norm or the historical narrative what we're teaching our kids over the past 80 years. And that's why that is what it is. Hope you like today's podcast. I'll leave my links in the comment section. Thanks for your time and hope you all enjoy the holiday season.